gives me great pleasure to be here to give the vote of thanks to Catherine, John and Maria as moderator. And I'm particularly impressed to do so coming off the back of those conversations. For anybody that knows me and knows my organisation and my city, we're a city that focuses on the future. It's not a time clearly for a crisis of imagination, but what does that future look like? And it's uncharted territory, but we're certainly casting our mind out into that future. And I think what we heard from John, Maria, and moderated by Maria, is emblematic of where the UDIA is going. I think there's been a discernible shift by my observation in recent years with UDIA, and that's quite apropos. You think you're building today, but you're actually building the future. The decisions you take, the town centres you build, the type of housing you provide is fundamentally going to shape the future. You will influence whether Australia is a productive, livable and lovable place, or if we go down a less desirable pathway. And I'm really pleased that the UDIA is looking to scan that future. I just wanted to say a few little words about Penrith. I want to make a little bit of a segue of some of the things we're doing. I want to dispel a myth. Sydney is not one city. We in fact believe that Sydney is at least three dominant cities. Sydney, the global city, Parramatta, the central city, and the third city, and the one that we're most interested in, is the city of the future, the city of growth. We call it the New West. It's that vast area between the southwest and the northwest sector. And in that area by 2036, or up to 2036, and certainly beyond, at least 2 out of 3 new Sydney-siders will reside in that area. We're building a capital city equal to Adelaide. So think of Adelaide, if you know the geography of Adelaide, fantastic place, I believe, to visit. Just don't try and get a job there. But Playford to McLaren Vale, the Spencer Gulf to the Adelaide Hills, that's the area that we're building. And think of the infrastructure, the technology, the universities, the schools, the hospitals, the transportation, the recreational spaces. These are the things that we're building in Western Sydney and in Penrith. Our economic catchment will grow from 500,000 today to beyond 1 million, and it won't stop certainly at that. In the past 5 years, we've dealt in Penrith with $3.5 billion worth of development. But the interesting thing is we've currently got $2 billion in the system at the moment. The developments, coupled with the likes of Western Sydney Airport and the Celestino Sydney Science Park, a $5 billion development, will ensure that Penrith is at the heart of that new West, that future city. And again, it's quite appropriate that I'm speaking to you. I'm not sure that cities have ever been built by governments, but certainly in the 21st century, they won't be built by governments. They'll be built by your organisations. And again, I return to the point that you are shaping the future. So we're dedicated at Penrith to finding partners to help us deliver innovative and remarkable results for our community and our region. I do urge you to read some of the material that's in your handouts today, and I do encourage you to look at our website, Penrith New West, to scan the things that we're doing in Penrith. I just wanted one final plug. I'm really interested in these conversations, I'm really interested in collaboration, but we're just as interested in actions and outcomes and fundamentally changing Sydney for it to be a more productive, livable and lovable place. And there is no greater opportunity, and it's really a call to arms, there's no greater opportunity than the joint study that's out at the moment in terms of Western Sydney's rail needs. And I'm pointing you to an opportunity here, and I encourage your businesses, your organisations to get on board and to advocate for a north to south rail across Western Sydney. Because the real estate will chase that infrastructure, and the real estate that chases it will be fundamentally different to the real estate that we've had in the 20th century in Western Sydney, and it will fundamentally change Sydney for the better. So I've spoken a bit, but I return to our speakers and the moderator, and again I thank Catherine Caruana McManus of Giant Ideas, I apologise, John Warren of Westfield, and Maria Atkinson AM of the Greater Sydney Commission.